like that's not just about you two anymore. That's bigger than just you two. Are you sensing that because of the political angle that he's carrying and his gimmick and everything?
Yeah, absolutely, and it's an angle that I welcome. I'm actually glad that he's done that because there's a lot of things in this world and in the time that we live in that kind of needs some light shed on them, brought to the forefront. So I'm glad that he's brought that to the forefront, and it is what it is. I'll attack it head on, and on Saturday night we get to put the nail in the coffin.
Do you feel like he's a studio gangster at this point? Now that he's admitted that this is a gimmick.
Absolutely. I've known he was a studio gangster. I've welcomed this fight for the last 4 years, 4 or 5. Actually, going back to my career, my second professional fight, he was offered to me. So I've accepted this fight 4 times before, and he has declined each and every time. And I'm being 100% honest with you guys. If I wasn't the undisputed champion of the world, this fight would not be happening. If roles were reversed, this fight would not happen. So, he's choosing to fight this fight because it's the only fight left. So, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, he's going to have to be locked in there with me.
When he calls you Marty, what is he getting at, and why is he viewing that as an insult?
He thinks it's an insult, but it's not an insult at all. Just like every kid growing up, we all have nicknames. And when I decided to go into wrestling at the age of 15, my name was a little tough for my coach, and I'm in Dallas, Texas. My coach is an old Marine, buzz hair, big, Marine guy. And he was just like, I'm not gonna say that. You look like a Marty. I'm gonna call you Marty. So I'm like, I'm this little 5'2", 103-pound kid, and I'm like, sure, coach, all right. I was in there to learn, and the one thing he's failing to realize, and he's thinking it's an insult, but the reason he knows that name is because I continue to thrive and excel at what I was doing. Think of it, if you have a kid and they suck at whatever they're doing at that particular point in time, they just, you outgrow them. We're humans, we evolve. But I continue to accelerate. I continue to get better and better, so more and more people knew the name. So now, it's not just in high school, my whole teammate, and now everyone across the state is calling me that. And now it's colleges that are recruiting me. And when the coaches call, and they're like, hey, we're looking for this Kamaru kid, when they talk to my high school coach, and he's like, oh, Marty? And then now they're calling me Marty, and now he bleeds over to college. So I'm actually glad that he knows the name, because that means I've done something right.
What is it that you dislike about him, and does it have anything to do with him supporting the president?
No, it has. Listen, I'm not that big of a political guy, honestly. So I'm not going to pretend that I am. I know that a lot of people are unhappy with the president and what he's doing and what he's done, but I don't know the man. So I'm not just going to judge the man based on the color of his skin. So I don't know the man, but in pertaining to Colby Covington, like he's already came on and said that this was a gimmick. First of all, I didn't have to sell my soul just to get the attention of you people. I put my hard work in, and this is what a true American is about. I grinded from the bottom. I put all the work in, and now I'm sitting up here, the undisputed champion of the world, in a position where he wants to be. So it just goes to attest to the differences between us.
How evenly matched is this?
On paper, people think it's evenly matched. We're both, it's crazy. We're both 15-1. Those lone defeats are to a guy that he beat the guy that I beat. So on paper, it seems evenly matched. But, when these guys step in there with me, and they're stepping in that cage with an African lion, and they quickly realize very soon that we're very, very different.
Stamina, then, would you say is the difference maker in this fight?
No, absolutely not. Like, whenever you see me get tired, I've got stamina too. It's when you step inside that octagon at that point, it's all about the mind and how you can use the mind, how you can see what's happening, how you can adapt to what's happening. He showed stamina against all those lesser guys that he's beat. I want to see that stamina when you get to fight me.
Kamaru, at what point did Colby, in your mind, first really cross the line?
Oh man, he's crossed the line a couple of times, but if I could really remember, because I've known of him, if I could really remember, like I said, my second professional fight, he was offered to me, and he turned it down. But I didn't think anything of it. I'm just a struggling fighter trying to make some money by fighting. But once we first got into the UFC, I guess when he started with this persona, it wasn't nowhere near to the height that it is now, but he kind of started saying a few things and about me. But nothing major. But he was only saying those because he saw a threat. He saw that I was getting the publicity, I was getting the attention that he wanted, that he longed for. So I saw him at the airport. I think it was actually in the promo, in the countdown video. I saw him at the airport and I said, oh, this guy's been running his mouth. I was fully prepared to smack him up on the airport. Fully prepared, no lie. So I said, you know what? I just want to find out who he is, because that's just who I am. I'm going to give him the opportunity. I want to find out what's going on. So I went and I sat right in front of him and I said, yo, what's going on? You know, I'm hearing all these things. Everything okay? And he was extremely nice guy. Like, he was like, yeah, everything's good. He was by himself, of course. Yeah, everything's good. You know, you got something coming up? You know, what's up, bro? Like, you know, because we had mutual friends. And so he was so nice, he made me feel like a jerk for even thinking of smacking him up if he said anything crazy at the airport. So, and then after that, 3 weeks later, he starts running his mouth online again. Oh, this guy knows he doesn't want to fight me. And that was the first time I really said, man, this guy's a clown, you know. And I just, you know, don't really care for him.
So much of the conversation leading up to this fight has been the animosity and talking about your opponent. Do you prefer that? I know it's a weird thing to ask, but do you prefer some of the attention being taken off you and the discourse leading up to this fight?
I don't really care, you know. I've worked hard to get to the forefront of this sport, to be the marquee guy. You know, this is all, when I started out, this was a dream. This was the goal, this was the plan, and we're here now, so I don't care whether the attention's on me or not. This is what I worked for, so he can do it. I'm glad that he's doing all that. I'm glad that he's made this fight what it is. So, you know, it's great to have challengers like this.
Do you think he believes in his gimmick, or is it just something he's really putting on to try to find an angle?
No, he absolutely does not believe in the gimmick. That's why he's came out and he's telling you guys, and I said it, he's now telling you guys now that, hey, this is just a gimmick. So basically, this guy knows. He knows what's happening. 4 times he's been offered this fight and he's turned it down. He knows what's about to take place. So right now he's trying to find an exit. He's trying to find a way out. Hey guys, don't hate me when I get killed on Saturday. Please don't hate me. I was just putting on an act, you know, just to entertain you guys. No, if you about that life, you gotta stay about that. You know, have you seen The Rock come out and say, oh man, I was just being, you know, this. The Rock went through 3 different personalities in WWE before he found The Rock. You know, but he didn't come out and reveal all of that. You know, you have a man that's already defeated mentally, that's looking for a way out.
So because it's a gimmick, do you think he deserves the accolades and the attention that he gets?
No. I mean, you know, it is what it is. I mean, still a guy acting outlandish, and let's be honest here. He can fight. I'm not disrespecting the fact that this kid can fight. You know, I give respect where respect is due. I'm no hater. He can fight. He's earned the right to be in there with me. But it's my job Saturday night to show him that there's a difference between him and I.
Do you think he's got more attention than the champ, the undisputed champ this week?
Absolutely not, because guess what? You know, if I'm not the champion, if I'm not willing to fight him, then who gives a shit? He's just another fighter. You know, he's just gonna fight, he's gonna go home and sit at home. But I gotta fight, go home and stare at that shiny belt every day until they call me up again and say, hey, we'd like for you to defend this.
Normally when 2 wrestlers go out, it ends up being a striking match. Is that something you're really welcoming? Because what do you make of his striking?
I welcome everything, and that's the thing. The key with my fighting is I'm able to adapt. My mind is a different, and I surprise myself sometimes with the things that I can do. You know, I'm able to adapt. If it comes down to just striking, he doesn't want that. Let's be honest. If it comes down to wrestling, he still thinks he wants that, but he doesn't want that. I mean, you heard it before. When I was going to fight Tyron Woodley said the exact same thing. If it come down to just wrestling, I would kick your ass. If it was this, I would do this. It is what it is. But once you step in that cage with this African lion, things change.
Is it hard to trash talk someone who you know is not being real? Like it's
Extremely.
Yeah.
Extremely. It's extremely. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, why aren't you trash talking more? Why aren't you getting into this? I don't have to. I'm sitting up here, there's gold beside me. I don't have to. My body of work speaks for itself. I don't need to. I understand that we have to be entertainers, but that's what my job is, to step in there and entertain you with my skill. You know, so I don't have to do all that gimmick. He had to do that to get here. I didn't have to. Have you seen me do the gimmick? No, never. I just.
He got in your head. He got in your head at all.
Oh my! And that's another thing that I keep hearing. People are saying he got in my head. You know, I haven't been competing for years with all these guys, different guys at different stages, and still make it to this point for him to think, oh, he got into my head now. At the end of the day, the main reason why I do this, I've said this before in several interviews, the main reason why I compete today is for the sheer fact of competition. When I left the Olympic Training Center in 2012, I could have went and got a job and became a marriage counselor like I wanted to be. You know, I could have went back to school and did that, but I still had a burning desire to compete, which is why I'm still here today. Oh man, it's an insult because to the naked eye it seems the same. We both go hard, we both wrestle pretty well, and we both, you know, throw a lot of record numbers of punches in our fights. So to the naked eye, and we both dominate. You know, so to the naked eye it seems the same, but it's really not. The way that I use my mind, the way that I set things up, the way that I corner guys, the way that I trap them, the way that I make certain guys work is completely different. And you guys will get a front row seat to find that out on Saturday night.
You mentioned that he's not in your head, and I fully believe you, but did you do anything to prepare to make sure you didn't get bothered? Because we've seen great fighters in the past who've gotten thrown off by, not necessarily Colby, but other fighters troll.
No. At the end of the day, it's part of being a professional. And that's I'm a professional in every sense, whether it's in and outside of the practice room. I try to be the best professional that I can be. So no, I didn't have to do anything. For Tyron Woodley, I brought in nobody. I didn't do any of that. This is my routine, and what I've been doing, you know, has slowly elevated me to this point. So why would I change it for this clown just because he had a louder voice than the others? You know, there's no change. You know, I just continue to do what I do, and you know, God willing, I'm gonna step in this Saturday night and I'm gonna make it happen. A little bit, you think? A little bit. No, it's definitely ramped up, but you know, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many people want me to go out there and kill this guy. I actually have to do it. So, you know, part of being a professional is learning how to block that off and step in there and take care of business.
You've competed as high as 174 in wrestling, maybe even 84 kilos at one point. Colby mentioned that he's a smaller welterweight. Do you think at a certain point you might be too big? How do you feel like the size is going to affect?
God, I'm too big and too strong for all these guys. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Tyron Woodley's a powerhouse. One of the most explosive guys in the UFC. And look how I made him look. You know, it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, once we step in there, you know, it's all about the preparation and in your mind and how you're able to handle all of this. And I think I've done a very good job at that. And, you know, Saturday night he's going to see the sheer size and my abilities.
That's a good thing.
Every guy.
Obviously, but at some point you kind of did that challenge to stay sharp and stuff and make sure
Yeah, which is why I welcome this fight. I really welcome this fight because, and I've welcomed it for. I've been at peace with this fight for a couple of years. I'm gonna be honest with you. Every fighter, once they sign the contract to fight, you get nervous. You know, your heart starts because you just signed the contract to put yourself in harm's way. Everyone feels like that. You know, but I've been at peace with this for the last. So with the Tyron Woodley fight, the same thing. I've been sizing Tyron Woodley up for years. You know, so when I got in there, it was second nature. I was used to that. This guy, I've been at peace with this fight happening for years. And so, you know, now it just gets to happen. So I'm prepared to do what I've always done. You know, I trained, I had a good training camp, and I'm going to go in there and basically do what I've always done, which is dominate.
You talk about the gimmick, and everybody knows it's a gimmick, and it's fake and everything else. But he's crossed the line to this outright racism a couple times. I mean, is that tougher to bro? It's one thing to have a gimmick, but this is ridiculous.
For him, it's good for him because we kind of live in this generation, this time now, to where the more outlandish gets the more attention. There's no such thing as bad publicity anymore. You know, it's all about publicity, clickbait. That's what it's about now. And you know, I just have to stay true to myself. I have a 5-year-old daughter at home. You know, at some point, this is only a short period of time. I might only do this for maybe another 5, 7 years, if possible. But after that, my daughter's she's gonna continuously grow. She's gonna get to a certain point. She's gonna look back at her father's body of work. Is she gonna, at that age, look back and say, "That's not the daddy that I grew up seeing. What is all this crap that I'm seeing?" No. That's the person that I live for. And obviously my family, my mom and dad, they raised me better than that. And I mentioned, I think his I don't know what's going on in that household, but I think they failed him because. At a certain point, a real man is going to sit this guy down and say, hey, there's certain lines that you just don't cross. And he's definitely crossed that. But, it's all my job to go in there Saturday night and discipline him the appropriate way.
Are you fighting for more? I mean, he talks about the racism. And as a black man, I mean, he obviously says things about immigrants. Do you still feel as if you are fighting for more? Each and every fight, I'm fighting for all of that. Each and every fight. It's not just because this guy has a louder voice than everybody. Each and every fight. At the end of the day, I have to be able to separate all of the outside stuff from being a competitor that steps inside that octagon and does my job. And so, I have to be able to separate that. That's part of being a professional. When I step in there, I'm focused and I'm ready to go.
Are you going to be able to shake his hand after this is all done? Or do you think he'll even try to shake your hand, win or lose, after this fight is over?
If he loses, of course, you just got humble in the appropriate way, and especially in the way that I see him losing, you kind of got to. When you eventually wake up, yeah, you kind of got to, But if he wins, I think, which I doubt, but I think he won't, just because it's a pass for him to continue with the gimmick. It's a pass for him to continue with the fuckery and all the bullshit. So, no, but it's my job to go in there humble. So,
can you shake his hand if you win? Do you think?
Can I shake his hand? Absolutely. I never say never. I never say never. Can I shake his hand? Absolutely. I was never taught to hate anybody. Even though I dislike him. When you actually step inside, and like I said, fighting is the purest form of for men with testosterone flowing through our bodies. Is one of the purest forms to settle this, because you can sit and talk something out with another man, but then you go home, in your mind you're like, man, was I too soft on him? You kind of get a certain feeling. But when you duke it out mano a mano, something about that, you take something from him, you feel him. And so I think this is the purest form to be able to humble him.
Kamaru, how's the difference comparing as opposed to comparing as a challenger before last year?
For me, mentally, it hasn't been. And that was one of the biggest things that I had to continuously remind myself that, hey, everyone's saying, and everyone says you're defending your belt, you're defending. I don't see it like that. I'm not defending anything. I'm stepping in there to win the belt again. So I'm still a hungry contender. I'm not, it's not now I have something to hold on to, so I'm gonna be shy and hold back. No, I'm still going into the fight, and this is just like a challenge fight for me still as well.
He said that he was fighting for the troops and for Trump. If you had to pick a couple important things in your life, what are you fighting for?
First of all, I think I fight more for them than he does. Honestly, I have so many veterans, so many troops in my DM, in my messages, sending me messages. This idiot doesn't represent us. We can't wait for you to kick his ass. So many, just because you're barking and you're hiding behind fake patriotism and saying, oh, I fight for the troops, I fight for this, I fight for that. That doesn't necessarily mean it. He's already came out and said this is all a gimmick. So how am I supposed to believe anything that you say? How are they supposed to believe anything that you say? And for me, I fight for the real. I fight for the people that are being true to themselves. I'm the true definition of what it is to be an American. I feel like somewhere along the lines, people have forgotten that Americans are all immigrants. They immigrated here, that worked tirelessly to lift themselves up and create this giant of a country that we live in. And I'm living proof of that. Coming from nothing and worked tirelessly to get to this point. I'm the real American in this. I don't feel entitled. Everything that I've earned, I've worked for. And for some reason, he feels entitled. You see him, Dana White needs to give me this. He promised me that, this and that. I'm not like that. If If I want it, I'm gonna work for it and I'm gonna earn it.
Have you ever in your life experienced the lead up to a fight like this where so many people are coming to you and saying, please fight this guy?
No, this is a first for me. But I get a lot of support. I've had support, throughout my career. But it's just part of the game. You go stage by stage, and you get bigger and better, and you get more followers and more attention. So it's part of the game. I love it, but at the same time, I know how to separate myself from it when it's time to work.
It almost feels like people have put that responsibility on you to kind of like save the world, like the global movement. Like, does it feel like that to you?
Absolutely, but that's because they know that I'm the man who's capable of doing it. And Saturday night it's my job to really show them that they're right.
How many different sides does that come from? Like fighters, media,
Oh
fans?
my God! I've been to, I would say in the last 6 months, I've been to maybe 6 countries, and it's so surreal to me that I'm in the mall in Dubai and random people run up to me. Oh my God! I can't wait for you to kill this guy. I'm in Abu Dhabi. I can't wait for you to kill this guy. I'm in Dominican Republic. People are running up. I can't wait for you to smash this guy. They can't even speak English, but they know I can't wait for you to kill this guy. So it's been so much support, but it's because they know that I'm the man to do the job.
What's pressure?
To the naked eye, in a sense, it is. But that's part of being who I am, part of being a professional. I have to be able to separate myself, step in there, and still take care of business.
What's the wildest thing someone's told you that they want you to do?
There's been some pretty graphic descriptions of how they want me to end this guy.
Can you share a couple?
Let's just say one ends with him, trying to open his eyes, and he can't because there's blood going into his eyes. So there's a few descriptive ones, but it is what it is.
What is that like for you to be kind of besieged on all angles from that? It's like, is it weird to some degree? It's like feeling these people's energy like that.
In a sense, it is, and I'm glad you bring that up because I'm very big into energy and controlling my energy, and it's people and fans that they don't necessarily. Fan is going to give you a fan's energy. They don't necessarily understand that you're a human being. You have your own life and your own energy as well. So they just bombard you with all these different energies of what they want you to do, what the experience they want to have with you. And that's kind of been probably one of the parts that I've spent the most time on. In this last year is learning how to control my own energy and not take on more energy than I need to take on.
I can tell because you've been like jovial like all week.
Yeah, it is what it is. At the end of the day, we finally got him in here after 4 attempts before. We finally got him in here. So Saturday, it's just I have to go in there and show him how much superior that I am than he is.
You've been thinking about that fight for so long and wanting it so long. Does it make it almost tougher? Like if it didn't go your way, which
no, it's if it didn't go my way, that's just not the way it was supposed to go. But I've been wanting it so long. Now it's like second nature. Same thing with Tyron Woodley. I was sizing up Woodley for so long, knowing that that's where I wanted to be one day. Second nature.
Would you go for the ultimate troll and try to take the belt to the White House?
I wouldn't think it was an ultimate troll, but
to get back at him. I mean,
never say never. Somebody threw out a meme the other day of me with the belt and Trump, and then he's on the other side with him, and they had like Khabib in the back and a couple of different things. But I never say never. That's something that I kind of live by. Never say never.
Tell us about the shoes, man. What kind of furs you got?
I mean, you had to step up with the Gucci joints.
Have you ever fought anyone as crazy and wild as
No, but at the same time, he's not crazy and wild. This is like it's a fake. It's not really him. But when you step inside that octagon, I have to cut through him. His real self has to come out. You can't hide behind the fake guy. The fake guy can't do this because that's fake. That's not real. But when I hit you in the face, that's real. So the real Colby has to come out, and that's the guy that I'm going to fight. And so I see past all these gimmicks and all this, extra bullshit that he's spilling out. I have to fight the Colby Covington.
Do you think he acts like that because he's scared?
Absolutely. Absolutely. he's already coming out and saying, hey, this was a gimmick, you know, they were gonna cut me, you know, come on, man. This is like, if you about this guy, if you're this character, then be this guy. Stay with that guy. You know, take it with you until you retire and you're done with the sport. Then you say, oh, this was a character. So people get to know who you are. But you're gonna put on this character, then be that guy. Keep that same energy. And he's not doing that. He's already finding a way out. He's already showing weakness. Already, he's showing weakness.
Is it more exciting to fight a guy who's fake like that? Does it just like boil your skin? Like I just want to take that more.
I wouldn't. This is the thing is, you know, when you're in the practice room and you're training with your teammates, you're fighting. Of course, you have to drill this, and you're practicing how to hurt people, and you're drilling this. But I never fully can hit my teammates with the full-on kill shot. It's always a little bit back. I might be able to give them 90, but not 100%. This is the case where I'm gonna enjoy going 100%. It's going to be bad intentions. When I decide it's going to be bad intentions, this is kill shot. I don't care whether I cut him, I slice him up, I do whatever. This is going to be one of those to where I don't feel that little hold back, you know, when I fight him.
How much do you have to guard against over aggressiveness in this fight? Obviously, you know, there's a long road into this. There's a lot being said. There's some pent-up aggression in there. I know you're being pretty chilled about it right now, but there'll be some pent-up aggression in there. How much do you have to make sure that you don't go too hard too early?
The same that I went with Tyron Woodley. Like people, like if I had one word to describe myself, it would be calculated. I think I'm one of the most calculated guys out there. You know, so of course he's gonna come, and there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of meat. There's a lot of all this extra stuff on the outside. But you know, I have to learn how to be calculated. With Tyron Woodley, it was 25 minutes straight. I didn't break. I don't break focus. I needed to achieve that, you know, and that's what I went and did. You know, Tyron Woodley was more stressful than this. This is just another fight, you know. Tyron Woodley was changing my life. I needed to become the champion. I needed to be that guy. That was more pressure and more of all that. And you saw how I handled that. And so there's no difference here.
We're hearing like reports that this guy has to like walk around security around Vegas.
Of course.
Are you getting fighters on this card coming up to you and giving you that same type of thing, or like, please fight this guy out?
Absolutely. Fighters from his team.
Name names. That's what I was meant to
I would love to name names, but you know, I'm not that kind of guy. But big fighters.
Like AGT.
Big fighters. Big fighters.
Like, what are they selling?
That we can't wait for this fight. We can't wait for you to hurt this guy. Like they because everyone knows, like, you know, the work that I put in, it speaks for itself. I don't have to hide behind the fake gimmick and do all this. I stay true to myself, and you know, and if I get to the top, I get to the top. If I don't, I didn't sell out. I'm still me, and so you know, they recognize real. Those guys recognize, you know, where I am and what I've put in, and you know, it's Saturday. I have to, you know, do a favor for the world and myself.
Well, I want to ask you to follow up on that, because you talk about the energy and how much of the energy. There's a lot of energy around this, and it feels like if you were able to go in there and really do that, embarrass and do a 5-second knockout, like not even not doing that, but just that type of thing, or Connor Diaz type of thing, to skyrocket you to some level. Does it feel like that to you?
Absolutely. These are, and that's another thing that I'm so excited for is. It's very rare that you get a fight like this. You know, it's very rare that you are put in a position like this. There's a lot of fighters that, you know, they fight all through their career and they never get put into that fight. They never find that right dance partner to propel them. Conor Khabib, look at Khabib now. You know, they never get that to propel them to that point. And you know, this is that fight for me.
Have you thought about?
It's very exciting. I'm welcoming. I'm excited for it, and I can't wait.
Have you thought about past this fight and what 2020 is like for you next year?
No, I haven't thought about that at all. I always take it a fight at a time. You know, I don't want to worry about all that and you know what's to come. I'm focused now. I live in the present right now. But of course, I'm focused on after the fight. I'm already like, that's the way my mind works. I'm already thinking about celebration. Okay, how am I gonna celebrate? Do I jump on the cage? Do I shoot him while he's down? Do I, you know, all the cool things that I want to do. I'm already thinking about all that things, you know.
2 minutes, gang. 2 minutes.
Well, I'm not saying it's not an emotional. Every fight is emotional. You know, when you fight another man mano a mano, you're fighting on his emotions as well. You know, it's part of learning how to control that. You know, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, am I going to be that emotional?" And like they saw in Aldo and McGregor and this and that. No, you know that's part of being a professional. I have to be able to learn how to control that. You know, I'm not coming out reckless. You know, I've tried that, didn't work before, so why would I repeat that again? And so, you know, it's part of me going out there and knowing what's best, being as calculated, and getting the job done.
But is there an added, just aggression to that when the guy's been,
Yeah.
he's been harassing you for a long time?
Yeah, there's added aggression, of course. And the elbows, usually I might bring it back from, might bring it from the parking lot in Las Vegas to his face, but now I'm bringing this one all the way back from Nigeria to his face. So, there's going to be a lot behind some of these shots, the kill shots. So yeah, there's a little added aggression, but that's not going to take me away from the calculated game plan of systematically, finishing this guy.
How do you think he compares to Tyron Woodley? I mean, in my personal opinion, I think Tyron Woodley's a better fighter than Colby.
Absolutely.
And made pretty easy work on him. Are you done going at least?
No, I think Tyron Woodley is better skill set. Tyron Woodley is a better fighter. But like I said, once you guys get in there, both guys do training camp. They put the hard work in. So when you guys get in there, now it's more of the mental, how you use all that training to dismantle the other guy. And so, yeah, it's a different challenge. It poses a different energy. There's a lot of different things in it, but skill-wise, he's nowhere near Tyron Woodley.
What's been the response in your home country, becoming the first ever African UFC champion? Now we got another one.
Yeah, it's been great, and they're starving for us to do something for them, to do something big for them, and that's in the plan, that's in the works. We have to get something together to motivate not just my people of Nigeria, but people all around the world, in Africa, in Asia, all around the world.
Do you feel when there's a little bit more grudge involved, that it pushes you, when there's a little bit more personal involved, does it push you more in training a little bit more?
I thought it would, but no, it still sucked. I'm gonna be honest, I thought it would. I'm like, now I get to enjoy that. No, it still sucked. Because, and the reason it sucked is because I go 110% in training. So when I get into that cage, nothing is foreign. So yeah, it was still challenging. Yeah, Gucci joints, and that's it. Yeah, and that's the thing too is I'm a stylish individual. I'm letting my personality come through. I have a platform. Why should I hide that I don't like style, like fashion, or certain things? I do. I love it, and so I just have a bigger platform for you guys to see it. I've been fly since I got into UFC. It's just that now I'm the main event, so you guys really get to see it.
And what kind of fur are you walking on?
What?
What kind of fur are you walking?
Well, I don't necessarily know. I just know they're Gucci.
Just Gucci.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
That's it. All right. What's up, Arash? How you doing, man? Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, man. Take care, bro.
Thank you, guys. Man, what's up, man?
How are you? Good to see you.
Yeah, I'm good.
Could we get a picture?
Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you, guys.